Melody down with Nell the way she turned right back around after storming out. And how she continues to prove that she lives in a completely different reality than the one we're all watching. So don't go anywhere, because by the time we get to the end, you're going to see why so many fans are dragging her online and why this whole Fletcher situation is exposing more cracks than ever in these so-called strong marriages. Then we get to the point where Tisha talks about being tired of people coming for her marriage. She says she's sick of the rumors, the cheating allegations, the constant talk about Marsa and other women. She feels like she's been attacked year after year. But here's the thing. Every cast member has had to face rumors and speculation. Melody Shari had to deal with Martell Holt's infidelity being exposed in front of the whole world. And she picked up the pieces of her life on camera. Kimmy Scott has had her own personal battles shown on screen. So when Tisha complains that she's being targeted, some fans feel like she's being dramatic. Because at the end of the day, being on reality TV is a choice. If it's too much, she could step away. But instead, she keeps staying and keeps reacting, which only fuels the fire. And that's why you need to keep watching until the end, because the way this ties into Nell and Chris Fletcher's situation makes the hypocrisy even louder. Now, let's talk about the Fletcher side of this. Because while Tisha was making a scene at the coffee shop, real-life drama was brewing with Chris Fletcher outside of the cameras. According to the Alabama Real Estate Commission, Chris Fletcher had his real estate license revoked. Not just once, but 6 times over 6 different violations. And when you hear the list, you'll understand why this is so messy. He was accused of misrepresentation, dishonest dealings, failing to provide information when requested, changing his business address without notifying the commission, and not even maintaining a proper place of business. Add it all up, and it led to fines totaling $13,000. That's not a blog rumor. That's not gossip. Straight from the official state website. And when fans found out about this, it was like the puzzle pieces started clicking together. Stay tuned, because I'm about to show you how this ties right back into the dynamic between the Scotts and the Fletchers. What's wild about this is that while Tisha is yelling at Nell for supposedly disrespecting her, Nell's husband is dealing with real consequences in the professional world. And yet Tisha still tries to shade Nell in her confessional, bringing up Nell's past issues in her marriage. She basically said she thought Nell would understand what she was going through because Nell's marriage had cheating issues. That move right there. It rubbed so many viewers the wrong way, because on one hand, Tisha insists that people should leave her marriage alone. But on the other hand, she has no problem bringing up someone else's. It's the double standard that people have been pointing out about Tisha for years, and it's why so many fans get frustrated with her. And if you're still watching, this is just scratching the surface. Marsa Scott, of course, always finds a way to insert himself into the drama. He did an interview where he seemed more interested in defending himself than in supporting Tisha, and Tisha felt like he wasn't really standing by her. That's another layer to this whole situation. Tisha feels isolated. She feels like her husband isn't always in her corner. Her friends aren't fully backing her, and her castmates are constantly questioning her marriage. But when you look at it from the outside, you have to ask, is she isolated, or is she pushing people away with her behavior? Because time and time again, we've seen Tisha blow up, storm out, and then come back as if nothing happened. That cycle is exhausting to watch, and it's probably even more exhausting to live. And then there's Destiny Payton, who Tisha calls out for being everybody's friend. Destiny has always been a bit of a wild card on this show. She can get along with anyone, but that also means people feel like she's not loyal. Tisha points out that Destiny is cool with Martell, and since Martell has lied about her, she thinks Destiny should shut down those conversations. But that's not really Destiny's style. She floats in and out of friendships, which is why people either love her or don't trust her. This is another perfect example of how Tisha expects loyalty from others, but doesn't always show that. Same loyalty back. Keep watching because as we get deeper into this, you'll see how the theme of loyalty and betrayal runs through every single storyline in this episode. When Nell brought up the mentorship thing and mentioned being a certified life coach, Tisha couldn't resist shading that too. She acted like being a life coach doesn't mean anything. And while some viewers agreed that life coaches aren't the same as licensed psychologists, others felt like Tisha was just deflecting. Because when the conversation isn't going her way, she has a habit of trying to discredit the other person. It's the same pattern. Shift the focus, attack the other person, and play the victim. That's why the coffee shop scene had fans talking all night. Because even though it was supposed to be about Chris Fletcher and the NDA comment, it turned into Tisha versus Nell, with Tisha spinning it into something totally different. Now, here's the real kicker. While all this drama is going down on screen, the fans are talking about Chris Fletcher's license being revoked, Marcia Scott's business controversies, and the never-ending rumors about the Scotts' marriage. And it makes you wonder who really has room to be calling anyone out. This group is constantly pointing fingers, but every single one of them has skeletons in the closet. That's why people can't stop watching Love and Marriage Huntsville. Because no matter how many times they say they're done talking about marriages or kids, they always go right back to it. And if you've made it this far, you already know the next part is going to blow your mind. By the end of this whole ordeal, Tisha apologizes to Chris Fletcher for getting in his face, but it feels half-hearted. It's like she only did it because she realized how bad she looked. And Nell, once again, comes across as the one with the most self-control. Even though she had every right to go off, she didn't. And that's why fans are giving her respect. Meanwhile, Tisha's confessional shade, her storming out, her accusations, and her victim playing only made her look worse. It's the same cycle we've seen over and over again. And honestly, if Tisha doesn't change her approach, she's going to keep finding herself in these embarrassing situations. So here's the bottom line. Tisha Scott is tired of her marriage being questioned. But she keeps putting herself in situations where it's the topic of conversation. Nell Fletcher is staying calm and classy, but dealing with her own storm because of Chris Fletcher's revoked real estate license.